Shop and Buy Limited Director, Mr. James. We have different types of tenders. We have closed tender, and in closed tender we all know what happens. A situation whereby at least a selected number of companies are selected to supply goods or services to a company. We have an open tender where every member of the public or an organization can be invited to supply goods and services. We have selective tender. In selective tender, a supplier is selected and given specifications on the goods and services to supply. And we have a negotiated tender. And in this type of tendering, mainly occurs in matters construction and engineering matters. So, you having worked on the 29th of April with a request to supply COVID-19 items to KEMSA, then on the 30th of the same month of April 2020, you are given a confirmation, a commitment letter that you are overqualified to supply COVID-19 items. In these four types of tendering process, a tender occurring within a day does not qualify in any of the four types of the tenders. And we all know that the KEMSA tenders involved an open tender where members were invited and organizations were invited. So with that alone, it tells us that there was malice, a forethought in this tendering process. And I would like you to explain how one could walk into an organization on the 29th of April 2020 with a request to supply, and then on the 20th of April 2020, you already awarded. And you awarded the highest amount, which is to a tune of 1 billion. Then number two, I don't want to harass you at all because I fix myself in your shoes, also having so many criminal cases in a court of law, so I want to handle myself. When you look at your own document, Shop and Buy Limited, at the farthest corner where you are giving us your details, your contacts, the email address is written Shop and Buy Kenya or shopandbuy254.com. I don't know how relevant that is. So does this explain whether this Shop and Buy Limited exists or it doesn't exist? And if it exists, when did it start existing? And if should this be a new way of writing an email address? Is this a modern type of writing an email address? And if it is a new one, was it formed specifically for this job? Because then it should show that this company, being a new company in the market, was specifically registered with an intent to defraud, to expropriate, to misappropriate, to pilfer Kenyans of their hard-earned money. I rest my case, Chairman.
All right. Yes.